Well, we haven't talked to you in a while. We thought we'd check back in with you. Game 2 of this date night doubleheader, which is looking a whole lot like an old-fashioned doubleheader because of the length of the first game. Rockies have won 2 of the first 3 against the Reds, and what a dramatic victory less than a half hour ago when they beat Cincinnati 10-9 with your run-of-the-mill 5-run bottom of the 9th inning. Back upstairs with George Frazier. Jeff Houston, he's making his way to Dallas right now. His youngest son, Cody, a freshman in Abilene Christian, he's going down there and accompanying Cody. That's where he ought to be. So we get ready. Yep, we get ready for game 2. But we got to revamp and recall what happened in game 1. How about that ball game?
Man, it was crazy all the way around. Chapman troubled in the 9th inning, couldn't do anything with it. He couldn't walk any. I mean, it was crazy, and we'll show you all that here just shortly. You go back to this first ball game. Lato's doing what he does. Charlie doing what he hasn't done in a while, and that's hit a home run out of the ballpark. His 15th of the year for Charlie. Great to see that. And then Bruce got after Jordan Lyles. Sent this ball up into the seats. Jordan gets to keep that record at 6-1 after he spit the hook because of what you're going to see here in a few minutes. The home run off Frankie to left field. And Corey Dickerson splashed the Ducks in dead center field. They all scattered around. Corey with that big home run.
Yeah, and that made it 7-3. The Rockies were down. They were up 3-0, down 7-3. And then in the 9th inning, they're down 9-5. They bring Aroldis Chapman in, which may have been a surprise to Chapman because Hoover was warming up next to him. He walked the first 4 guys he faced.
Yeah, he left the ball game. Price took the ball out of his hand and just sent him back to the locker room. He jogged off, headed down, and I noticed Pena came to the mound, though, and he kind of pointed to the shoulder and, like, come out here and get him. He's not right. I mean, there was a lot of 98, 99s. And then, oh, man, the big heroics right here.
Yeah, Hoover came in, and after a run had scored, the former Red Drew Stubbs with a walk-off 3-run home run. 3rd walk-off home run of Stubbs' career. What an unbelievable finish to a day that began with the Rockies retiring number 17. So the game summary, the Rockies win it 10-9, a bottom of the 9th victory. And in a most difficult season, it's been a great afternoon. First time with the number retired, and then listen, I know the numbers aren't right in terms of wins and losses, but that was a fun finish.
Oh, that was a fun finish. And just think, Rex Brothers gives up 2 in the 9th. He's mad. He's in the dugout. I don't feel good. He gets the W. So there is some good that comes out of all of that. A lot of things that happen on a baseball field at times when you don't want to really anticipate it. But with Todd's situation, what he did today, joining on air, I did find out he doesn't know how to keep score in a scorebook because I said keep score while you're talking to Drew, and he didn't do it. But it was great to see guys. Hop and Francis came down to say hello. So there was a lot of guys around the ballpark today to celebrate Todd, and I think it justifiably so.
Yeah, no question, and make no mistake, today was about number 17. We'll have more on Todd's celebration and his number retirement in a few moments. Rockies and Reds getting ready for game 2. number 17. First number in franchise history to be retired. And a crowd of more than 42,000 on hand. Todd getting a big hug after the speech by his eldest daughter, Tierney Faith. And then 17 revealed. And 17 can still throw it a little bit.
And I laughed a little bit. He threw one down to the dirt. Brad Hopp picked it. Well, what a day. What a celebration of a great player.
Wonderful day. We'll have more on Todd as the evening progresses. Johan Flande to the mound when we come back. This is brought to you by your neighborhood Toyota stores. Toyota, let's go places. By Inova Cancer Care, advanced non-surgical treatment of prostate cancer in only 5 sessions. Visit InovaCC.com. And by Southwest Airlines, find our fares online only at Southwest.com. That's a beautiful evening for baseball. Cloudless sky. We did have a 21-minute rain delay very early in game 1. And the Rockies went on to win 10-9 with a 5-run 9th inning. What an improbable finish. Loto Magic on the day that number 17 sees his number retired. Billy Hamilton's going to lead things off for Cincinnati in the nightcap. Let's take a look at the rest of the Southwest batting order for Brian Price. Southwest Airlines, find our fares only online at Southwest.com. Ramon Santiago, he'll get the start at third base. Then Jay Bruce, he had a big first game. Ryan Ludwig, Chris Negron, he's had a big series. Brian Pena's in there at first against Zach Kozar. Tucker Barnhart will do the catching in game 2. And Dylan Axelrod will make his big league debut in 2014. He was with the White Sox last year. The first pitch from Johan Flande misses, ball 1 on Billy Hamilton. Hamilton a couple of doubles in game 1. Both corner infielders shortened up, and that's in there for a strike. Well, that's a quick turnaround. It's an old-fashioned turnaround from your days, George.
Yeah, it's the starting pitcher. You go get loose. We're changing clothes, and we'll see you in a minute.
That's toward the right center field gap, and Hamilton on his way to second, and he'll easily have a double. Man, he's fun to watch run. I wish it wasn't happening against the Rockies. He has fast strides and he has long strides.
He's taking a second pitch, or third pitch, I should say. 1-1 count, a ball up out over the plate, and he just takes it where it's pitched in the right center field, and it's off to the races. He can really flat run. Cut off very well by Barnes, but no chance at all for Hamilton.
So the third double of the day for Billy Hamilton, and that'll bring up Ramon Santiago, veteran utility player, and he takes a strike. One thing that you have to be impressed with Flande, George, given his opportunity finally after a decade in the minor leagues, he has not been afraid. He'll challenge you.
Yeah, he will. I mean, this is an older guy that's been around for a while at the minor league level, and he knows he's getting an opportunity. He's pitched much better than the 0-5 record.
And he's gained some instant respect, and he's a very likable kid in that clubhouse. 2 strikes. Flande, he'll sink that fastball. 88-91. Working ahead of Santiago with Hamilton at second base.
You got to do something. I mean, you got to, yeah, exactly. Step off, give a double look, single look, mix up your looks back to second base. The right-handed hitter up, you give him an inch, he's going to take off for third base. 44 stolen bases on the season.
Take a look at some of the numbers on Johan Flande with George. Brought to you by Inova, a novel approach to cancer care. Visit InovaCC.com.
Well, Drew mentioned the sinker, so you're going to have a lot of contact ground balls. So only 20 strikeouts, plus only just 3 home runs, though. That's the key to that 40 in the third innings. Typically doesn't get beat by the long ball, making his 8th start for the Rockies tonight.
Inside 1-2. Guess if you're a player with that short turnaround, you get a little something to eat, get a quick shower, and
yeah, you get very little to eat, or you'll be tasting it for the next 7-8 innings. I mean, that's the one thing about it. You're really hungry, but if you go in there and you just pound a bunch of food, yeah, it can be disruptive to the system. I think the hard thing is that ball hit right off the end of the bat. Hard part about it is it was a 4+ hour game with all the festivities of Todd and everything prior to that, then a 4.5 hour 4:20 game. You know, you're worn out physically already. So it's difficult a lot of times to get that engine going again early in ball games. Billy Hamilton didn't have a problem.
that's a serious broken bat. Did he get the tag? No. It's a calculated risk. Arenado knows that Hamilton's coming his direction, and he went for it.
Just barely missed him with his tag. Nolan's got to catch the baseball. Billy sees him about to get it. He takes a sidestep. Then Nolan just
did
misses.
He get the back of the arm?
Ooh, I don't know if he got that or not. Boy, that's pretty close. That's almost worth a check, isn't it? Early in the ball game, I understand, but Walt not out of the dugout.
First and third, they're giving Santiago a hit. That was really close. That misses. Ben Mays behind home plate. There's 3 young umpires in this game, and C.B. Buckner, who's at first, because Dale Scott, who worked the plates, getting the second game off. Marcus Patillo. And I believe Marcus, that's how it's pronounced, and if it's not, I apologize, but he is at third base. Quinn Walcott's at second. There's Marcus. Jay Bruce drove in 3 in the first game. And the slider's off the plate. You heard Ben May saying outside. Two and two.
Jay Bruce was a hero for a little while in the first ball game. Hit his 13th home run. He has 50 RBIs now.
Ground ball to second. See if the Rockies can turn it. Nope. So a run comes in. Hamilton scores on the ground out by Bruce. Bruce with his 51st RBI. 1-0 Cincinnati. Take a look at the Rockies defense, brought to you by Excel Energy. Visit responsiblebynature.com today to learn more. Dickerson's in left. Brandon Barnes will start in center in the second game. Michael Kadire, who started in the first game at first, he's out in right field. Ben Paulson will start at first. DJ LeMahieu, if you're wondering, remember he got hit in that ankle and it rolled over on him a couple of nights ago. He is not in the starting lineup in either ball game. Arenado at third, Wilin Rosario behind the plate. And so the Rockies have a really short bench because Morneau with the stiff neck probably can't go. LeMahieu highly questionable.
We have started looking now. What pitcher could you use if you had to go real early in the ball game? Jordan Lyles swung the bat extremely well, so he's a guy that you could go to. You got to protect the bench till late in the ball game if you're Walt Weiss.
Want to know on Ryan Ludwig.
Always has been a dangerous hitter. Guy that has some pop in his bat.
.3-0 on Ludwig. And that's ball 4. Yeah, that's not like Flande. I'll bring up Christopher Negron. Got a lot of ground balls at Petco Park in his last outing, George.
He did. It's because he stayed down in the bottom half of the zone and he was against an aggressive team. He got a strikeout here, one of 2 that he had in the ball game. Did that on the hard slider, but he was able to get a lot of ground balls, which turned into double plays when he was running traffic on the base paths.
Yeah, look at those numbers. They're very good. Just 2 runs on 4 hits over 6 innings. That's very much a winning performance. Like George said earlier, he's pitched better than his record. He got a loss in that game. That walk he had was just his 12th in almost 41 innings. Two strikes on Negron.
See, that's a good hard slider that he could take to the outside part of the plate. He can also drop it on that back foot. You're heading to count 0-2. Not a bad idea to do that, but you got to just keep it down, and you want to work that area right down here in the bottom of the zone. If you go back there with it, able to foul that ball off.
Quick turnaround for all the good folks who work here at Coors Field. Literally in about a half hour, all the patrons who came to the first ball game departed. Folks who had tickets to the game yesterday made their way in. Sunday night baseball at Coors Field.
I don't think I've ever said that in 17 years. Sunday night baseball at Coors Field. I don't think no, that happened.
Strike three on the inside corner. McGrowan caught looking. First strikeout, second out of the inning, and Brian Pena, the switch hitter, will come up. Tweet your questions for our fifth inning Toyota Talk visit with you. Use the hashtag Toyota Talk, and we'll get to as many questions as we can during the fifth inning. Bouncer toward third, cut off there by Arenado, and he'll make the play at first. In the inning, a manufactured run after a Billy Hamilton double, and the Reds have a 1-0 lead. There's Drew Stubbs, and boy, did he ever have a big ninth inning. Got a breaking ball against J.J. Hoover. He didn't want to look at first because he knew. Out at the 424 mark in that deep corner, left center field, 3-run walk-off home run. Got a bat to boot from his buddy Brandon Barnes. Did it against his old team. Rockies began the inning looking at Aroldis Chapman and a 4-run deficit. Who had him walking off about 20 minutes later?
Yeah, I don't think anybody did. Honestly, if you did, man, I've got a lot of faith in you too. Tell me what you're going to do next.
Yeah, right.
Well, Dylan Axelrod's going to be on the hill for the Cincinnati Reds. Just less than a month ago, he was wearing a Chicago White Sox uniform in AA, and then in AAA Charlotte. They made a minor league trade for him.
That's a rocket off the bat of Rutledge. And it's caught by Pena. How many line drives have the Rockies hit at Pena in this series?
Yeah. But he was traded over to the Cincinnati Reds. He had made 21 starts, 8-8, 409 earned run average. Just a veteran guy that really knows how to pitch. 41 walks, 100 strikeouts. He sinks it, he cuts it. For the last couple of years with the White Sox, 2011 he got his first chance, 4 games, worked 3 starts. He was 1-0. The next year he went to Charlotte for a while, then the White Sox 2-2, and then last year spent the entire year with the White Sox, 30 starts, 30 games, 20 starts. He was 4-11 with a 568 earned run average, and was back with the White Sox this spring, and then was traded over to Cincinnati, and here he is making a start in Coors Field at the big league level.
Corey Dickerson had that sliding attempt, diving attempt, actually, George. Good changeup in the first game, and we kept showing pictures of him, kind of rubbing on his shoulder. Evidently, he is fine because he's in there in game 2 in the 2 spot. Hit a home run in game 1, his 17th of the year. Oh-2. And that's another rocket.
Got him popping up anyway.
Yeah,
huh?
evidently. He may come out with catcher's gear on in the infield next inning. Here's the Southwest batting order for the Rockies tonight in game 2. Michael Kadire will be batting third. You know who the first two guys are. Arenado will bat cleanup. Ben Paulson just called up to play in the second game. The 26th player, if you will, that's allowed by Major League Baseball. Rosario, Barnes, Culberson, Flande. Strike 1 on Cuddy. Here's the 26th man for Cincinnati, Curtis Parch.
Right-handed reliever.
Yeah, they went with an extra arm in the bullpen.
He's been up and down the last 3 or 4 years. Big power arm too. Hard throwing right-handed.
Does Cincinnati have a guy that doesn't roll out of bed throwing 98?
Not out of the back end of that bullpen. They've got a lot of big arms.
2-1 on Michael. That's a good slider. Moved late, 2-2. Kadire in the first game, his first start after missing 2 months, went 1 for 5. Went back to that slider. It's 3-2.
Yeah, Tucker Barnhart has spent a lot of time at the AAA level, so I'm sure he's made a couple of starts with maybe Axelrod on the hill, so it's a good match for them. Tucker, one of their top 5 rated prospects at the minor league level. Played AA Pensacola last year. This year was elevated.
That's down the line, and it's just fouled. Here's the Reds defensively, brought to you by Excel Energy. Visit responsiblebynature.com to learn more. Billy Hamilton in the middle of Ludwig and Bruce. Santiago at third. Cozart playing short for the second straight game. Actually, he's played there the whole series, but meaning in the doubleheader. Negron can play third, second, play a lot of places. Pena again at first. And this is line to right, and it gets past a diving Bruce all the way to the wall. Kadire on his way to third. Long throw. Michael got there.
Yeah, I got to believe they're going to get Bruce an error on that. He just whipped on the baseball.
See, if he doesn't touch it, though, George, I don't know how you score it any other way. It's really a bad decision. I'm with you.
Well, he's looking at the big board here at Coors Field saying, how did I just miss this ball? Came in here. They give him a triple because it was not touched by Bruce. Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo opens the glove and just whipped on it. It looked like it hit the thumb of the glove, though. As it went through it, Kadire sees everything right out in front of him, able to turn this double into a triple. Gets there right ahead of the throw of Billy Hamilton, who can really throw it.
George, he threw that ball from the warning track.
A one hop to third.
Here's Arenado trying to tie up the game. And maybe with that swing, he was trying to put the Rockies in front.
Pretty big swing there. And that's the hard thing about facing Axelrod. He'll touch a 90-91, but he typically pitches in the 87 to 89 range, so it's a little bit below hitting speed. Is to set on it, make sure you get a good swing on it. Pretty good strike throw. Fastball back to back, 91-92 on the gun here at Coors Field.
One and two. You see this a lot, George, with guys that are, and I say this with respect, these guys are still the best in the world, but he's got fringe major league stuff. And they can get to 2 strikes. It's hard to get that third strike, that put away kind of pitch.
Well, or just trust it doesn't have to be a strikeout pitch. Just make a pitch where the ball's sinking or has some tail or movement to it. Pretty good fastball there with some sink, but I mean, why not do that on the 0-2 count? You know, the 1-2 count, it's off the plate. It's not a strike. Warner tried to get it pulled back to where it was.
And he gets a strikeout of Arenado to end the inning. So Kadire, who tripled, is left at third base. It's 1-0 Cincinnati through 1. And the bottom third of the order for the Reds against Johan Flande. Time for the injury report brought to you by University of Colorado Health. How about this? Rafael Betancourt. He spent the last few weeks, George, with the kids down in Grand Junction. And after producing a 2.03 ERA, he's been added to the Sky Sox roster, trying to come back from Tommy John surgery at an advanced age. He's 40, and boy, Rafi showing great determination, and so far the results, George, have been pretty good.
The results have been very good, and even there, the velocity has started to peak these last 3 or 4 outings, and so that's why they increased to go to AAA. Challenge him a little bit more. You're not going to send him to A-ball, then AA. I mean, you're going to go ahead and push him because he's throwing strikes. And he's 40 years old. He's been around the block.
Yeah, you mean he doesn't need to see the Cal League anymore?
Not anymore.
Zach Cozart, 227 average, 3 home runs, 30 driven in.
Plus all the movement the Rockies have had. I mean, Brooks Brown coming up to the big leagues, guys going on the DL. There's openings at AAA, and you know, this time of the year on August the 17th, try to find free agents to fill up a roster just so you can have enough arms. It's difficult to do, so why not test it?
2-0 on Cozart. He had a 2-run single in the first game. And this ball's lifted to center field. Brandon Barnes is out there. Who wants tacos? Remember, when the Rockies, as they did in the first game, score 7 or more, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day between 4 and 6. Get your Rockies taco special. Live Moss and Taco Bell, so you're all taken care of for tomorrow. See, when they hit that 7 mark, it was 9-7. We said this is great, but now they need to hit 10, and they did.
They did hit it.
Tucker Barnhart playing in just his 13th game of the season.
He played a lot of games early when as Rocco got hurt. And then whenever he came back, he went back to the AAA level and swung the bat there. In Louisville, he had 235 with a home run and 35 RBIs. Always been a pretty good catch and throw guy. Got recalled on August the 9th. This is his first ball game since then.
Ground ball to short. Got to come get it. Nice job, Rutledge. 2 outs. I'll bring up Dylan Axelrod.
not sure Axelrod's ever hit. I got fielding statistics. I got his bio right here.
That's what I was
game
looking
best,
up.
nothing. Career game, best as a reliever, nothing. I don't think he's ever swung a bat. Probably didn't get a start maybe in interleague play. That's the only other team he'd been in the big leagues with, White Sox.
2-strike count on Dylan Axelrod.
We're told now 2 at-bats with the White Sox. A hit and a run scored, we're being told by the truck now.
That's Crash going upstairs for a shot, I guess. And he's riding the escalator. He's going way upstairs.
Oh, okay.
He's attracted to the rooftop. We were up there. We understand why. So good time had by all of them on the rooftop. Axelrod strikes out. Flande, a 1-2-3 second inning. Middle of 2, 1-0 Cincinnati. You good at cornhole, Frazier? As we go to the bottom of the second inning. Hey, a reminder to tweet us your AT&T fan photo. We do this every ball game, have a lot of fun with you. And here's how you do it. Use the hashtag CO fan photo for an opportunity to have it shown later on in the ball game. Ben Paulson's going to lead off against Dylan Axelrod in the second. Rockies got a Michael Kadire triple in the first. Paulson, when given an opportunity, has been outstanding.
What are you doing?
I'm up here because Sam was doing something. I wanted to make sure that his camera was manned. This little comebacker. This was not a good start to the inning, though, Fridge, because I was behind camera 2 up here, and you were down there texting, and you didn't have your headset on.
You wanted a burger, and I'm trying to get it for you.
Oh, how are we doing with that?
I'm working on it. You got to let me. I'm working. Let me work on it.
Sammy, how you doing? Sam's good. All right. We have 2 Sams up here because Doug was producing the Bronco game today out in Santa Clara. So Sammy's we're Sammy squared up here. Rosario had a sac fly in the 9th inning to produce the Rockies' 6th run, which kind of set the stage for, or 7th run actually, kind of set the stage for the dramatics to come a little bit later on when Stubbs hit the 3-run walk-off home run. There's a 1-out single for the Baby Bull. I'll bring up Brandon Barnes. Congratulations, by the way, to the Broncos. They opened up the 49ers' new stadium by shutting out the 49ers. 34-0. Pretty good.
Good day at the office.
Yeah, it's a real good day at the office. Game 2 of the preseason. Barnes swings and misses. 0-1. Subaru brings you the manager's challenge. If there's a questionable call, instant replay will be used to determine the outcome. It's brought to you by Subaru. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. And that's a called strike. Atlanta leading Oakland 3-1. That's the only game going on. Everything else in Major League Baseball is a final. Barnes wastes that pitch.
And quite honestly, pretty good little crowd here in the second ball game. Sunday night, a lot of school. School starting tomorrow here, Drew?
Yeah, you know what? For the most part, school's back in session. Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, a little difficult for a lot of the youngsters to be here late for the ballpark. School tomorrow.
Yeah, all my boys were out with my wife earlier. Strike 3 on Barnes to send off Todd like everybody else. They wanted to see him for the, well, I want to see him for the last time. I wanted to see that special ceremony. Since we're on the topic of family, a big happy birthday to my wife tomorrow.
Yeah, what'd you get?
But we're not on the air
What'd
tomorrow.
you get her?
She gets and then
No,
she
what
tells
did you
me.
get her?
She gets and then she tells me.
That's not how it works.
Well,
get a dozen red roses or something.
No, that she don't play that game.
Well, I mean, on top of whatever she gets, then it comes from you.
This ball's laced to left, and the catch is made out there by Ludwig. Can't hit it harder than Culberson just hit it. Rockies have had some atom balls here in the first couple of innings. 1-0 Reds. The ballpark, and as I was wishing my wife happy birthday wishes, we lost transmission for a couple of moments there. We apologize. We think we've straightened out the issue.
And Christy, I told him to get you a dozen red roses from him.
But who else would they be from?
The boys.
Yeah.
You need to get a dozen from the boys, maybe yellow. Brighten up the house a little bit.
flowers are always a good thing.
They are great.
Johan Flande in the third inning is going to see the top of the Reds order. It's going to be Billy Hamilton, Ramon Santiago, and Jay Bruce. Hamilton will lead off double in the first inning. His third double of the ball game. Nosing that average close to 270. Here's a funny story, George, about Hamilton. He's a switch hitter. And in pro ball, he taught himself how to switch hit. And nobody asked him to do it. But he was in the batting cage one day by himself, and he took out the tee, and he started taking swings left-handed. And he walked back into the clubhouse, and the manager said, "That looked pretty good left-handed. Why don't you keep working on it?" He said, "What are you talking about?" Or actually, he said, "Do you switch hit? You ever switch hit before?" He goes, "Well, what are you talking about?" He goes, "Well, we were just watching you on the video." He didn't realize there was a camera up there. They're watching him, and they were watching him. You know, he thought he was just working on his own and messing around, and that's really where he started switch hitting. And this year, he's hit about the same in the mid 260s, upper 260s, both right-handed and left-handed.
Well, you know, here's a kid with a ton of speed, trying to get to the big leagues. You know, hey, I've heard switch hitting's pretty. I'm going to try it. A lot of guys that hit left-handed all the time, they're right-eye dominant. So when they switch around, sometimes they can hit pretty good from that left side or the right side. I know with a lot of right-handed hitters that switch over to that left side, you know, their right eye's forward, right arm strength, and everything else, throwing hand, all of a sudden they become pretty good left-handed hitters.
Reds up 1-0. Hamilton at first. Santiago, as the throw from Rosario goes down to Paulson. Safe back in is Billy Hamilton.
I got a feeling that Billy Hamilton gets his jersey dirty quite a bit. Snap throw by Rosario, but went for not.
Yeah, I imagine he has a dirty uniform. Here, Alan Bossert, who I don't know if I've ever met a guy that works harder and sleeps less than Alan Bossert, who's the home clubhouse manager for the Rockies. And when I was walking in this morning, Alan told me a story. And by the way, happy birthday, because it's Alan's birthday also.
Yep.
AB said there was no water, right? There's no water in the stadium last night, George. That's why the game was postponed, because of the water main break out on Blake Street. Alan had to go to the Westin Hotel, and he was doing laundry until 1:30 this morning.
Well, yeah.
And at the Westin, evidently, all their machines there, a couple of them were broken, so they were shorthanded a little bit also while they were getting those repaired. That's what Alan was doing. He had to be back at the ballpark at 6:30.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. May be playable. Arenado, Rosario, Nolan's going to make the catch right in front of the Reds dugout. So Santiago retired, and that'll bring up Jay Bruce. Auto glass damage, call Safelight 303-287-5000. You can find them online at safelight.com. Jay Bruce, an RBI ground out in the first. Fourth RBI of the afternoon. Looking at some of the scores from around baseball today, George. Colorado's own Kevin Gausman improved to 7-4 as he helped the Orioles avoid the sweep against the Indians, a 4-1 victory in Cleveland.
Slider. Well, last night I watched Eddie Butler go against the Frisco Ball Club, which has Joey Gallo, who has a ton of home runs. He's a big power hitting left-handed that plays third base, and he didn't disappoint me. He had a home run last night. Butler went 7 innings, pitched pretty well. Bullpen faltered late in the ball game, but Butler's improved. First 3 innings, I'll be quite honest, weren't very sharp. The next 4 were pretty good.
How's his sinker, George? Because you said he was.
It's better.
Trying to find it again.
Yeah, it's a lot better. There are a lot of balls hitting the air, but it's getting much better, particularly in innings 4, 5, 6, and 7. It got a whole lot better.
Jay Bruce with an 0-2 count. And this is popped up. Arenado backpedaling. Were you at the ballpark the other day when Gray threw?
No, I was not. I did not go. Hey, join the Rockies on Friday, August 22nd for the first annual Star Wars night at Coors Field. Go to therockies.com/Star Wars for tickets and more information. I did not get over there. I did call, and Dan O'Dowd was there, general manager of the Rockies. Bill Gavette was there. Ty Kozlow, who works for the Rockies as one of their top pro scouts, was also at the ballpark, and then a couple other scouts that are pretty good friends of mine. Hey, it's just more of a command thing now for Jonathan, because it was 95 pitches and 5 1/3. You know, and you got to be able to work deeper into those ball games. Pound the zone, velocity's up, still good.
Ludwig. Oh, snow cone job.
Hey, that's a record. 3 straight outs in the air by the third baseman. That's a record. Look it up.
Good thing he has an 11 3/4 glove and not 11 1/2. The bottom of the 3rd inning. Time for the farmland. What's cooking down on the farm? Farmland, passion for pork since 1959. George talked about this earlier with the Sky Sox. Chad Bettis is being reconverted back to a starter. 8 shutout innings Saturday night and a 10-0 win over Fresno. And Rafael led the offense. He was 4 for 4, including a home run. He drove in 4. We saw him quite a bit during spring training, but that's good news on Chad Bettis.
It is. 3 hits given up in 8 innings. I think he struck out 8. He only walked 1. He was tried as a reliever. You look back at his Tulsa numbers. He threw the ball pretty good as a starter. Then last year he started for a little while in Colorado Springs before getting the call here, and they put him in the bullpen after about 5 or 6 starts at the big league level. And I think that's where he had success. For whatever reason, the stuff's not working in a 1 inning, 2 inning look. It's working better over an extended period, so he's led fire.
Axelrod strikes out Flande. That's his 3rd strikeout. And that'll bring up Josh Rutledge. Well, the day after every Rockies victory, get 40% off your online order at Papa John's. Enter the promo code ROCKSWIN at papajohns.com. So listen, we had the whole day laid out for you. Around 4 o'clock, you go get some Taco Bell, right? You go get your taco special at Taco Bell. And then later on in the evening, you get 40% off great pizza at Papa John's. How's that sound?
Sounds great to me.
Yeah. It would work right now
You know,
for
it
us.
sounds better if you're on the rooftop. You want to go to Chub Burger and have a burger because they're pretty good too.
They're outstanding. And I smell them. They're in our vicinity.
Yes, they are.
Oh, my goodness. David Woodman, our general manager, is in the background. David, would you like to do some broadcasting so we can eat for a couple innings?
No, he's out, I think.
I got the stop sign.
Yeah.
0-2 on Rutledge. He hit a line shot to first in the first inning. The Rockies had 3 balls absolutely smoked, but right at a fielder. Rutledge had Pena, Dickerson at the shortstop Cozart, and Culberson at the left fielder Ludwig. Axelrod bounces the breaking ball. It's 1-2.
Now, Tucker Barnard, I've seen him block the ball. That's one thing he's known for. Really good receiver behind the plate as far as block and receive the ball, throw the baseball. Really has the ability. Wide stance behind the plate, but he can shift to that outside comfortably and really block the baseball well. That's just textbook.
Good angle with that chest protector. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Dylan Axelrod, you know what he is? He's an anteater, George.
Yes, he is. 6-4 with a .397 ERA and went to the College World Series in 07.
This ball toward the hole. Rutledge can really fly. Cozart's not going to be a nice play.
Nice play, but it comes up short because of Rutledge's speed.
So Rutledge aboard with 1 out. Second, third hit for the Rockies.
I didn't think he was going to get to the baseball anyway. Sinker down and in, and then Rutt pulls it over into the hole. Cozart gets to it. Off balance throw to first base, trying to get it there on time. Not going to do it. Rutt beats it by about 3 feet shy of the ball, getting over to first base. See all that on your Mike Shaw Subaru Super Mo.
Yep. Good play by Cozart. That gives you an appreciation. Cozart's a really good fielder, and I'm not saying if Tulowitzki's there that, you know, well, obviously they're on the same team, but you know that he would have thrown out Rutledge. But it gives you an appreciation for how frequently Tulowitzki makes that kind of play and completes it because of his arm strength, where the guy's out on a bang play.
That's why he's probably the elite shortstop in all of the game right now.
Yep. The other guy, I think, in his class defensively is Andrelton Simmons of the Atlanta Braves. But Troy does some things that you just don't see from that position defensively.
You know, pure arm strength. Didi Gregorius over in Arizona has got pure arm strength. I don't think he has the range of what Tulowitzki has. He can show it at times, but consistently the way Tulo does.
That's why we always talk about first step, George. You played with some really slick infielders. Tulowitzki is not known as a burner in terms of speed, but his first step and his range for a big shortstop is really incredible. That's a strike.
But at 6'3", you're taking a 6-foot stride, basically, to go get to the ball. So the first step, he gets so much distance speeding up with it, and the ability to balance his body and make strong throws. Been blessed to watch it here in Colorado for so long.
1-2 on Dickerson with 1 out. Rutledge at first. Axelrod was a senior sign out of Cal Irvine.
30th round.
This ball's hammered deep center field, but it's going to come up a little bit short. Off the bat, you thought it had a chance. Hamilton makes the catch. 2 outs.
Now Kadire shot one into right center field in his first at bat, a triple. The ball was misjudged by Bruce in right field. Dickerson hit that ball well. He'll give him another one.
He wanted to bang that helmet. I think he just missed it. So here's Michael with 2 outs.
So a line shot in the first inning by Kadire hit the right field. He looked like Jay Bruce had a beat on it, and then he just whiffed on it. Went all the way to the wall. Kadire off to the races. Ends up at third base with a couple of outs, and then a strikeout by Arenado could not get him to the plate. He's ahead here, 1-0.
Now he's ahead 2-0.
Well, you know what, the Dylan Axelrods of the world, it's a nice story. 30th round draft choice, got released by the San Diego Padres, signed as a free agent by the White Sox, and 2 years later he's in the big leagues. Tested the market last year as a minor league free agent to get signed, and he signed late with the White Sox in spring training.
Rutledge takes off, swung on and missed. Throw is not going to get Rutledge. Rutledge with a stolen base.
I know, surprise you, that's his first stolen base of the year with his speed. Been thrown out 2 other times, but he hadn't been successful yet. Good jump on Axelrod, high throw for Barnhart, slid underneath the tag. That's a really good jump on his part. One glance back. But you got a 2-2 count on Kadire now, but you got a runner in scoring position.
When I looked down and saw that, I was like, what? Did I write this down wrong? Swung on and missed. So Kadire goes down swinging. Rutledge left at second. We'll go to the 4th. 1-0 Reds. Is brought to you by the Ford F-150. It's not just a truck, it's an F-150, and it's built Ford tough. By Southwest Airlines, find our fares online only at southwest.com. By CenturyLink, your link to what's next. And by Jeep, visit jeep.com to learn more. Flat River's moving quickly tonight.
Got a little wind. See the clouds moving?
Yeah.
Affecting the ground wind.
4th inning. Christopher Negron fouls off the first pitch. A slider from Johan Flande. Billy Hamilton led the ball game off with a double, kind of a leg double. Infield single by Ramon Santiago, and on a ground out, Jay Bruce drives in Hamilton. That's the only run we have. Very close, just missed. One and two. And a strikeout of Negron. Second time that Flande has struck out Negron. That's his 3rd strikeout.
What I like about Blondie, he really gets up on top of this hard slider and drives it down. Really, really good hard slider on the Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo. Good result with it too.
Oh, and 1 on Pena. Pena came up with the Atlanta Braves, also has been with Kansas City. Last year he was with Detroit, did a good job with Detroit, hit .297. Now, Brian Price-Fraser's been using him at first base. He's barely been there in his career before this year, and he's making his 32nd start there with this game tonight.
Votto out.
Right.
You know, you got to have a power, a guy you think can bring some power to you, so that's why he's over at first base. With the chance to hit the ball out, he's hitting 270 right now.
Strike 3 inside corner. Pena not happy with that call by Ben May.
Well, young umpire, not get you know, how many times has he been up here at the big league level making calls? They have a lot of vacation umpires this year, 17 to be exact. Dale Scott worked the plate in the first ball game. Caught enough of the plate to be called a strike. You got 2. You got to be hacking, pal. It's close, right? You're gonna have to go sit down.
Cozart at the plate. Three hits apiece. The Reds have the only run. 2 outs in the 4th inning. And that's a strike. 1-1 on Zach. This is the 7th game of the season series, the final game of the season series. The Rockies have won 3. The Reds have won 3. Hard on the ground, foul.
Hey, interleague play comes to Coors Field on Tuesday and Wednesday, the 19th and 20th. Kansas City Royals will be here in town. So make sure you check out your Coca-Cola value packs. They're available for both games. Get your tickets today.
And the Royals are having themselves a second half, leading the American League Central over the vaunted Detroit Tigers. One-two on Cozart, a bouncer toward the middle of the diamond. Culberson by half a step will throw out Zach Cozart. Another good inning for Flonde. He's retired 6 in a row. 1-0 Reds. trailing 1-0. Nolan Arenado, Ben Paulson, Willeen Rosario against Dylan Axelrod. And it's time for the Steel Tee Heating and Air Cool Stat. Never a trip charge for a repair. $69 value. Steel Tee. The T stands for trust. Go to steeltee.com. Highest slugging percentage among big league third basemen this season. Nolan's #1. The great Adrian Beltre's #2 on that list. Talking about Hall of Fame with Todd being here today, George. When we were down in Texas earlier this year, it's actually a 4-game set, 2 here, 2 there in Arlington, Rockies and Rangers. It's when the Rockies were really rolling. Big conversations about Beltre. Look at his numbers. They're Hall of Fame worthy.
They are. The home runs, the RBIs, the gold glove. I mean, I look at him as a gold glove third baseman over and over and over and over again. Should have a ton of them.
Yep.
You got to really pick it.
Jim Tracy, we have great respect and admiration for. Obviously, he was a manager of the Rockies, especially in 2009 when they won a franchise best 92 ball games. Took over from Clint. He says one of his absolute favorite players, one of the best players he had, and he's had some good ones, was Adrian Beltre. He would just go on and on about Beltre. 3-1 on Nolan.
Oh, look at the Dodgers after he was out of there. How many third basemen have they tried to hunt down now? Obviously, they've had some success of late, but it's been difficult.
You used former Rocky Juan Uribe the last couple of years.
Normal shortstop, second baseman, not a third baseman. But he's gotten bigger and hitting some power. And Don Mattingly absolutely loves him, too.
He's had one heck of a career also. This ball's popped up. And it may be playable. Hopefully not. It's over the screen.
It was playable for about 8 people down there, about 4 rows back.
Some big people went down the tunnel. Some little people went down the tunnel, and the little people won.
Absolutely, as they should.
Good job, buddy. 3-2 on Nolan. Wells Fargo customers, get your 2-for-1 Rockies club level seats today by going to wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Wells Fargo Bank, member FDIC. One of the teams, Cincinnati's got to leap over if they're to make the playoffs over these next 6 weeks. That's a good slider. Is the Miami Marlins. They beat up the Diamondbacks today in South Florida 10-3. This guy Stanton, George,
pretty good, isn't he?
I guess. He hit his 32nd home run. He drove in 4.
Who started in that ball game for the Marlins?
Hold on. Ben Paulson coming up for the Rockies. Miami started Kohler, Tom Kohler.
Good right-handed pitcher.
Yeah, Colmenter lasted just 4 innings. He gave up 5 runs. Stanton's hit .295 with the 32 home runs and 88 ribbies. He's going to be heavily involved in that MVP conversation.
Has to be.
And it's a shame because even though the record is so poor for the Rockies, I think Tulowitzki would have garnered quite a bit of support, leading the league in hitting, and when he went down, he was tied with Stanton for the league lead in home runs.
About topspin on this swing by Ben Paulson. That's what kept it in foul territory. It jumped out there. Marner couldn't find the baseball. And when he did get a hold of it, it just got into foul territory. Ben May yelled out foul ball. I heard him, didn't you?
Yes.
Did you hear him? He was loud.
Want to come in on Paulson. A little slider, that late slider has been effective. It's helped him produce 5 strikeouts so far.
Locks it up on top, kind of that grip, and then just comes with it. And it helps him command it to both sides of the plate. A lot better success with it against right-handers. He's got Nolan a couple of times, Kadire once, and Barnes once. Follow every Rockies game with MLB.com at-bat on your favorite mobile phone or tablet. Get instant replays, scores, stats, audio, and a whole lot more. Go to Rockies.com for more information. Ben, Todd would be very happy with you right now. It looks a little bit of like Todd Helton type swing where he just flares them into the stands. Axelrod not giving him anything on the inner half.
Back up the middle. It's knocked down by Axelrod, and he's got Paulson at first. Want to stay connected to your favorite teams? Follow Root Sports on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to keep up to date with your favorite clubs all season long. This is a 4-hop ground ball to second. Rockies struggling to figure out Dylan Axelrod. A 1-2-3 fourth inning. 1-0 Reds. Treasure Mark Stout from Coors Field. Time for the CenturyLink link to what's next. Rockies will have a day off tomorrow. It's much needed after playing 2 today. And then the Royals are in for 2 ball games. And here are the pitching matchups. Big game, James Shields. He is really steady. The anchor of that Royal staff. He'll go against Tyler Matzek on Tuesday. Danny Duffy will go Wednesday against the Rockies ace Jorge De La Rosa. Jorge will be looking for his 13th victory.
With what? He's got 8 starts left. I mean, obviously, you're sitting there staring. I'm not saying you going to win 20, but it could. I mean, the numbers are there. You win 8 straight, you win 20.
When you look at it, I think he'll end up somewhere in the mid-teens again. He's won 16 twice. Let's say he does it for a 3rd time. I mean, how good is that? Oh, how good's that pickup?
Wrong spot to hit it, Pell. Just telling you.
He's got the softest hands. Nolan Arenado takes perhaps a hit away from Tucker Barnhart.
That's exactly what he does on the short hop here. You just trust those hands so much. Puts the glove in position, get a hold of it, gets his body back on underneath it, makes the flip to first.
Frage, there's another great example of a guy who has great range. The scouts, we were just Eddie Lynch is down there, a long time, GM, and you look at him and you're going to put down plus in terms of range, right?
Oh,
but he's a below average speed guy.
At his first step in reading of a hitter. I mean, here's the thing. He looks in, and if he sees fastball away, he goes, all right, I doubt he's going to hook that. So if you watch him over and over and over again, if you're here at the ballpark, fans, he will take that step towards the shortstop on a fastball away. he might take a step back towards the line on a breaking ball. I mean, he's always in a position to be able to move left or right. And again, you're talking about a kid that's 6'2", 6'3", so he can take long strides. He gets there in a hurry, but he's not a burner at all by any means. But he is very quick one step.
Dylan Axelrod with a 1-2 count, and now he's got a 1-3 count. You have to go bye-bye when that happens. 2 outs, 5 strikeouts for Yohan Flande. Doing his thing again. Is an option for the whole year. Every time a player is sent down, is 1 year. It's the whole year. So you can send down 5 times in 1 year. It's just one option. That's a very good question. That's 8 in a row, George, and 13 out of 14 set down by Yohan Flande. Billy Hamilton with 2 outs. A little bit low. You start looking at this season, George, and you look at individuals that have helped themselves in what has been a very tough year, obviously.
Well, the number 1 jumps out, so your left fielder.
Corey Dickerson's established himself as a
everyday major leaguer,
as a heck of a big league bat, and that's the first guy I'd point to. I agree with you.
And Charlie Blackmon's probably 1B.
That's true. I mean, he's an all-star.
Yeah.
I mean, he felt like he barely made the team out of spring training. Wasn't sure. The position players, those guys stand out, and on a much lesser scale. But Yohan Flande may have a role. You never know. May have a role as a bullpen guy, spot starter.
Well, people that knew about him and had said, and this is my biggest point about this. 2 outs. I'm going to get back on my soapbox when we come back from this break.
That's 9 in a row. 14 out of 15 set down by Yohan Flande. Yeah, get him some runs. Barnes will lead it off when we return. Rockies nothing. Bottom of the 5th inning. Brandon Barnes, Charlie Culberson, Yohan Flande against Dylan Axelrod. Thanks again for tweeting in your questions last half inning during our Toyota Talk inning. Visit our Facebook page at facebook.com/RootSportsRM for more answers. Barnes struck out his first time. Fastball down low. Dylan Axelrod pitched independent ball after being released by the Padres. George was talking about that. He was with the Windy City Thunderbolts.
His uncle is Barry Axelrod, longtime agent, represent Rick Sutcliffe, Mark Grace. I mean, a lot of very good players. He also represented Kevin Towers, and you know, Towers took him out of college, gave him an opportunity to play with San Diego's. When they kind of ran the gamut, they cut him loose, went down to the independent league, and then shifted over, and out of that independent league, he got a job with the White Sox, and he made the most of it. He ended up in big leagues. It's a great story. It really is.
Well, he hasn't hurt himself by his performance tonight. 5 strikeouts, 4 scoreless innings so far. This ball hammered deep left field. Take a good look. You won't see it for long. Brandon Barnes has tied it up.
The strikeout victim his first time up on a slider. The pitch appeared to be a slider in the middle of the plate, and Barnes just crushed it. Just flat out crushed it. Yeah, one more look. Yeah, that's exactly 88-mile-an-hour cutter going to that outside corner. It is. See you later. Yeah, about 20 rows up in the left center at over the 390-foot mark.
You know what that cutter was? It was a barrel finder.
Those people are happy.
Ought to be. Here's Charlie Culberson. Charlie hit a seed to left his first time up. Nice sliding catch by Ryan Ludwig. Took a hit away from him.
Yeah, it's Charlie's 189, but there's been a lot of hard 189 outs. You know, he's hit a lot of line drives, and guys making nice plays on him.
Walt Weiss is a huge fan. He's a huge fan of all his guys, but he loves to utilize Barnes in situations where his energy is really going to be infectious, which that's a base hit up the middle. You know, it's a long day today, an emotional day for Age. Instead of starting him in game 1, start him in game 2. So if anybody's, you know, dragging a little bit, his energy is going to pick everybody up.
Well, you hope it does. I mean, that's the kind of player he is. That's what you look for. You see everybody walking around him with a smile on their face. That's a good sign. Good to see Walt with a smile on his face, too. Got a little point of the finger to the crowd back there. They're all on their feet celebrating. And he got to the dugout, and I'm not sure what him and Arenado got going, or I mean, excuse me, Rosario got going, but it's a handshake.
That looked like they were working on something in the clubhouse for a while. Yeah, that was not a first rehearsal.
Look at it right now. So there's slap, backhand, forehand, and then the nose, and then the bow.
Right. That wasn't the first time they got together.
Yeah, exactly.
Johan trying to get the bunt down. Culberson takes off, and it's bunted foul. Stare down, Johan Flande and Stu Cole. Stu waiting to get the signals from the dugout. And now he flashes up to both Flande and the runner at first base, Culberson. I assume they keep the bunt on. And Flande offered at it. He's gone. So that's the first out. And that'll bring up Josh Rutledge.
Rutledge, a base hit and a line drive hit right at first base.
Perfect night, 74 degrees. Pitch out.
Jay Bell is his bench coach. A lot of times they will control the running game along with the manager, Brian Price. And who you're comfortable with is Tucker Barnard looking back into the dugout again to see what signs would be relayed to him.
A lot of base stealers like to go on the back end of an early pitch out. Culberson not going, and it's fouled off. You played briefly with Lou Brock toward the end of his career, and I don't know if it's a fair question. Was that the best base stealer you played with, or he wasn't in his prime any longer?
Yeah, but he still stole a lot of bases. I can tell you that. Rutledge misses on a slider. Still stole an awful lot of bases. Well, you know, Lou was one of those guys that could get to full speed in 2 steps. It wasn't like a slow getting it going, you know. He got there in a hurry, and the best part about being around Lou was the explanations he would give to me about how to hold runners on.
Helped you out.
Oh, it helped me immensely.
2-2 on Rutledge.
The running game was a lot more prevalent then than it is now because of the AstroTurf fields.
Certainly always for the Cardinals.
Yeah, oh, well, it always was there. But I mean, because of the fields, you know, and it's bigger ballpark, so you'd run a lot of base stealers. Tim Raines, Lou Brock, Ricky Henderson. It was funny because most of the parks in the National League were all AstroTurf, and the ones in the American League were all grass. It's crazy.
The American League got the slugger reputation, slugger league type of reputation.
DH. That's because of the DH.
There goes Culberson, and it's fouled off. The Ford Strike Zone is powered by Built Ford Tough trucks. Built better, built stronger, built Ford Tough. No wonder Ford F-Series are the best-selling trucks 37 years straight. No movement, and another foul ball. Rutledge with that base hit in the 3rd inning snapped an 0 for 16 slide. Slump came on the heels of a situation where you just couldn't get him out. That time Culberson was on the move again.
Firing an awful lot of pitches down in the zone. Axelrod hadn't thrown many up. The one obviously cost him, the one to Barnes, he hit a home run. Everything else has been down, down, down. I mean, he's lived in the bottom half of the zone.
Took a bunch off there on that curveball, and he strikes out Rutledge. 2 outs. Culberson still at first, and that'll bring up Corey Dickerson. Corey, a line shot to short and a ball to deep center field that off the bat I thought had a chance to get out of here. He hit one out to dead center in game 1. That's turned on. May have broken a chair, it was hit so hard. And naturally the Cubs fan gets the baseball. What's that guy thinking about? You know where you are? Longest hitting streaks this season. Nolan Arenado set the club record with 28 games, one more than the 27 set last year by Michael Kadire. Justin Morneau had a 13-game hitting streak in April, and Corey currently has an 11-game hitting streak. All the other guys with double-digit hit streaks. Cargo twice. Hit a 10-gamer out of the gate, as did Michael Kadire. Both those guys started the season with 10-game hitting streaks. I mentioned Eddie Lynch earlier, George, old friend of yours, and a good scout, and a guy who was GM with the Cubs. And we were chatting in between games, and you know, he was saying how surprising, of course the injuries have played a role, but just how surprising it's been that the Rockies have been as poor as they've been the last couple of months. He said, when I saw the Rockies in spring training, I looked at that lineup and I thought the pitching was, as he said, serviceable. He goes, I thought this was going to be a heck of a team, and that's what a lot of people thought. Well,
28, 27, all the injuries started to hurt. I mean, they had a ball club that was winning, ball club that was swinging the bats. They were pitching well.
Two and one on Dickerson. Dickerson hits a high drive, deep right center field, but again, he's going to miss it by a smidgen. And the ball is caught out there by Billy Hamilton. That's twice tonight. He's thought he's hit one out. 1-1, Barnes hit one out. Check of our First Bank game recap. Put the 7th inning stretch to good use. Sign up for First Bank's free checking at efirstbank.com. 1-1 ball game. Billy Hamilton's 2 for 3. Scored a run in the first inning after doubling. Michael Kadire has a triple. Brandon Barnes last inning tied it up with a long home run to left center field. Yohan Flande has been outstanding. He has retired 9 in a row, 14 out of 15. And the 2-hole hitter, Ramon Santiago, leads it off, and he takes a pitch beneath the knees, ball 1. Top of inning number 6, outside, 2-0. That misses, 3-0. at the knees. Flande in each of his last 2 outings has gone 6 innings. His longest stint was at Wrigley Field. In a loss, he went 6 2/3, gave up 2 runs on 4 hits. And just missed. Then has Flande barking at himself. And that'll bring up Jay Bruce. Just a second walk allowed. He's gotten Bruce twice. The first time on a ground out that actually drove in Billy Hamilton. 10-9, the Rockies won in the opener. It was 9-5, bottom of the 9th inning. Rockies on the wrong end. They scored 5 runs. Aroldis Chapman helped set the stage by walking the first 4 batters. Brian Price had to take him out. And the Rockies would continue the rally against J.J. Hoover, culminating on a 3-run walk-off home run by the former Red Drew Stubbs. Jay Bruce, Stubbs' longtime teammates, now in a ditch 0-2. Baseball, a game of constant and sometimes lengthy conversations with oneself.
It's usually one-sided too.
Yeah.
You don't like sometimes what yourself tells you either.
Self, that was an awful swing. What are you doing?
Yeah, exactly. You sure you're the same guy that hit the ball last time? Now Parr's starting to stretch down in their bullpen a little bit because you don't know how deep Axelrod will go into this game. He's pitched effective. Pretty good pitch by Flande there on the outside corner.
Parr was up in the 9th inning. Game 1.
Well, you know what? I think if Stubbs would have got just a hit and drove in one, then he probably would have faced Dickerson with 2 outs.
Took the fastball off the plate at 89. It's 2-2.
76 pitches now for Flande.
It's a real good number.
Very good number.
Different view. Well, we knew he was going to throw over there, and we thought that would be the perfect angle to bring that into your living room.
Yeah.
Crash is working hard. It's been a long day for our entire crew. Our hats off to them. They get here early. It's going to be about a 16-hour day or so by the time our root crew shuts it down. There's a strikeout of Bruce. That's his 6th punch out for him.
Yeah, very good slider right here on the outside corner. Big move, 84 miles an hour. A good pitch, hand well on top of the baseball. Change up grip, but slider action.
Ryan Ludwig a walk and a line drive to 3rd. That was that snow cone catch by Nolan Arenado back in the 3rd inning.
Let's look at the footing here. Tapped out in front, so as a pitcher you're going to react to it because of the big swing. See, Flande goes down to one knee right here. I don't know if the leg gave out, the ankle, or what happened. Keith Duggar popped up on the dugout, but nobody coming out, so obviously okay.
That tore the cover of the baseball.
Took a bite out of it, didn't it?
You could make that thing move, huh?
Oh, at age 60, I would make that move. Sit out.
This ball's gonna go a long way. Got Ryan Ludwig, one hops, one up onto the concourse. That was a large fly. 3-1 Cincinnati, 8th home run for Ludwig. I told you throughout the series, he's one of those guys that has beat up the purple through the years.
Let's see where this pitch is and what it was. It appeared to be a fastball, but it just cut right at the last second. Ledwood was sitting right on this thing. The dugout knew it was gone. They all got on the steps to see how far it was going to go.
Jim Wright discussing with Flande about Negron and trying to put this past him.
Yeah, Brooks Brown starting to throw in the Rockies bullpen.
He struck out Negron twice. Sliders in the dirt. This is the rally guy. He got the Rockies going in the 9th inning. We have to get him cranked up again, George.
Yeah, Waldy talked about it in his press conference after the ball game. They gave him some tickets. He's back again. Let's go. There it is. Let it fly, buddy. Come on. Let it go. Sell it. Sell it.
He was. That's outstanding.
Yeah. Kidding me?
Talk about getting after
the guy
it.
I want on my side,
Yeah.
right there. That guy.
Never say die.
Yeah. So you need to get busy. Get busy. I don't know what he's singing.
Got an Irish jig going right now.
Oh, the home run just happened. Look at him. He's going crazy. Pull him up. This is TV, family television. Pull him up.
See the three guys in front of him. They just hunted down one of the concession guys. Said, "I want what he's having."
Yeah, twice. Double it up.
We had to borrow that line, didn't we?
Uh-huh.
1-2 on Negron. This is Walt after the first game.
And whoever that rally guy was up in the upper deck, nice job.
See, he doesn't realize that the manager notices this ball's up the middle of base hit. George spent a lot of time in dugouts and bullpens. There's a lot of time to look around.
Yeah, well, absolutely there is. You got a lot of negotiations that go on for baseballs, for hot dogs, food, all kinds of things. I mean, it's absolutely perfect. And this young man danced his way into some free tickets for a Sunday night game at Coors Field. I love it.
I hope somebody texted him, said, "Hey, the manager gave you
Wake
credit."
up. Don't be closing your eyes.
You can't fade game 2. That's not
No.
allowed. One out. Negron at first. Brian Pena at the plate. At the plate. And Flande looking for a ground ball. What's going on here?
Oh, Rosario went out to talk to him. Typically, when you look in the dugout, and they say, you see the catcher call time and walk out, it means the manager goes, "He's not ready yet in the bullpen. Go talk to him."
Yeah.
Kill a little bit of time. Jim Wright's looking down in the bullpen, waiting to see the hat from Bo McLaughlin. When the guy down there takes the hat off, then they're ready. I guess Bo would rather call than take his hat off.
Pena takes ball 1. Huge win for the Broncos today, opening up that new stadium in Santa Clara, 34-0 over the Niners. Peyton Manning near flawless. All quarterbacks played well today. Osweiler, Dicer.
Remember, he struck out on a fastball. His last time up, it was right on the inner half for a strike, and Pena didn't like it, and he doesn't like the strike 2 call on that last fastball either.
One, two. Fouls that off. One of the Rockies' top prospects, George, had a big day down in Asheville as Asheville won again 11-3 over Augusta. Emil Tapia, 3 more hits, another home run. He's batting .331.
What did McMahon do in that game?
Ryan McMahon was 2 for 4.
How many RBIs?
One of his 2 hits, a double. He's well over 90. I know that. 282 batting average. He did not. Let me look at this again, Georgie. He did not drive in a run today. Correll Prime went 5 for 5, drove in 3. He's got 93 ribbies.
Very good baseball team down there. They got a couple of starters. One's won 14 games, another 11.
This ball to center field and deep, and Barnes can't get it. This is going to score Negron. And going into second is Brian Pena with a run-scoring double. And that makes it 4-1, and I'm sure that'll be the end of the line for Flande, who between the second and 5th innings really couldn't have pitched any better. It looks like he kind of ran out of gas, especially after that home run to Ludwig.
3rd time through the lineup, man. That's what you start to wonder, you know. 3rd time through the lineup, how does he handle that? And Walt's going to go down. Brooks Brown's warming up down in the bullpen. Flande's going to end up going 4 in the 3rd innings. Giving up 4 runs so far in this ball game. 5 in the 3rd, excuse me. And Brooks Brown, who was called up a couple of days ago, is going to come into the ball game with a runner on 2nd and 1 out as Walt makes the trip to the mound.
The score tied 1-1, but Flande's given up 3. He gives way to Brooks Brown now. Here's our AT&T fan photo of the game. Oh, it's the gnome. It's the Todd gnome on top of the dugout.
It's the hunting gnome. The camo
Hunting gnome. Tweet your photo to hashtag #COFanPhoto for an opportunity to have it seen just like this in a Rockies ball game. Brought to you by AT&T. Hard throw at Brooks Brown has been back and forth between AAA and the big leagues this year. Called up yesterday.
Going to pitch in his 11th ball game. He's 0-1 record so far, 675, 9 1/3. Another one of those nice stories. A former #1 draft pick by the Arizona Diamondbacks, signed as a free agent by John Weil, and now getting an opportunity at the big league level. He's earned it. Now just take advantage of all that.
One on Zach Cozart. High heat at 95, 0-2. By the way, Ryan McMahon, 95 ribbies down in Asheville.
Should that be to have a couple of guys in low A in a short season? Not a short season, but it's not 162 games. It's 144 games. They have two guys get over 100 RBIs, which they probably will.
McMahon was a teenager at the start of the season, too. Drafted right out of Southern California high school.
Sandwich pick by Bill Schmidt and his scouting staff.
1-2 on Cozart. You know, our man who Walt credited with getting that rally going in the upper deck, George. He looked, I mean, for me, he looked like he was fading a little bit here in the middle innings of game 2.
Did he go?
Which, I mean, he's been at the ballpark a long time.
Yeah, but
I understand
did he go?
that. No, Mark Stouter's going to help him out.
Stout, I thought you went home.
No, I'm here. Stephen, how are you?
Fantastic.
You are the man of the hour as of the first game. So I brought you a Coke, souvenir.
Thank you.
Souvenir cup of Coke. Get you going.
Thank you so much.
Tell us about the rally dance.
You know, you got to do whatever it takes to root for your team. You got to keep fighting on with every last breath, every last bit of energy and everything. And sometimes you lose your voice, sometimes you get a headache.
We're watching you right now from the first game. You lost your voice. We thought you lost your mind.
Well, that's easy. Yeah.
That happens on occasion?
Yeah, every now and then. Yeah.
You know, the skipper, Walt Weiss, made note of you in his press conference. He said, that rally guy got us going.
Well, I'm honored that Walt brought me up, and I'm honored to be here. I've been coming here 15 years, and I love the Rockies.
Do you think that Coke will get you going so we can get a rally going this game?
Yes, sir.
We tell Mark, we're all concerned about him. We know we need a little caffeine, a little quick
hit. We were a
hit.
little concerned about you because, you know, you were so amped at the end of that game, and you're bound to come down a little, right?
Yeah, I mean, there was some moments where I was a little iffy if I was going to make it or not. But then we kept coming back. We kept coming back, and next thing you know, we got it. And Drew got up there, hit the homer, and thank God for that.
Look at this play by Arenado.
Beautiful. He's an artist. He deserves a Gold Glove.
Well, he's got one. Another one, you mean?
Yes, exactly. He needs another one. He's going to have a few before he's done.
It's like he's dancing at third base.
Exactly. He's going to make Brooks Robinson look bad.
That'd be hard to do.
I got faith in the guy.
So, Stephen, where are you from?
I'm from Denver. I live by the airport right now.
Sweet. By DIA?
Yes, I do.
Mm-hmm. Well, you really helped the team walk off the Reds earlier.
Well, I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad to help wherever I can.
Drew, George, anything else from Stephen?
I love that guy.
Huh?
You know what? He's mellow right now, but I know he's just preparing himself.
Doing a great job up there. Doing a great job. I listen to you every week.
That's very kind. You know what? Look at
beautiful.
that.
Beautiful.
Mark, you
good
went.
job, guys. Get up.
Baby. You went and talked to him, and all of a sudden, Brooks Brown comes in, calms the waters. 3 runs for the Reds, 4-1.
The long ball got after the Rockies a little bit. Dylan Axelrod has been special. 5 hits and a run so far in this ball game. Come on, you got to have a sip of the Coke. Let's go. You know you're on TV.
Coke starts. You know what?
Mark's back up on him again. You got to drink the Coke.
Mark was looking for a tip.
Yeah, the last time Axelrod went 6 innings in a major league game was back in Cleveland. June 29th, 2013. Again, I said it's a nice story. It really is.
Michael Kadire will be first here in the 6th. A triple and a strikeout for Kadire.
So where's the rally guy sitting right now? Is he out in right field? I'm looking for Stout. I don't see him.
Oh, George, he's right behind Bo, man. He's up in the 6th row, right behind the Rockies dugout.
Moving on up.
Yeah. Or in this case, moving on down.
Yeah, he did a good job. Good for him.
One, 2. 2-2. Rockies just setting the stage again. Falling behind by 3 runs. Like I said, now 2 runs. That's a long way. That hit off the last row in front of the concourse for Kadire's 6th home run of the year. He's got the tough part out of the way. He's got a triple and a homer tonight.
Boy, with a pretty swing. He got a little bit of a hanger here. Welcome back, Michael Kadire. See, he just started waving the towel. Next thing you know, bam, here comes Kadire. Got a ball out over the plate. A mistake by Axelrod, and he paid for it. Hit way back there, folks. I mean, way back there. Hit that little bench in the back and shot down towards the front of the bleachers and left. Nolan had a little bit of a hack at it, too, didn't he?
George, Rocky should petition the league, see if this should count twice.
For distance. There he is. Telling you.
Provide the magic again. Arenado fouls it off. It's 2 strikes on Nolan. That was swatted. Guess all the people in Grand Junction hacked off that Cuddy's not still playing for him.
Yeah.
I came home after that trip from Montana. They said, where's that guy who was lighting it up every night? Where'd he go? Shallow right, and Bruce will make the catch. That'll bring up Ben Paulson. Auto glass damage, trust Safelight online at safelight.com. On the phone at 303-287-5000. With George Frazier and Mark Stout, I'm Drew Goodman. 4-2 after the home run by Kadire. And our man Steven. He's got your old hairdo, George.
Yeah.
Paulson changed a changeup. Johan Flande goes 5 1/3, 4 runs, 6 hits. All the runs were earned. He walked 2, he struck out 6. And that's another base hit for Ben Paulson. And that'll bring up the tying run in Willeen Rosario here in the 6th.
Yeah, they don't have any action down in their bullpen right now. I mean, it brought Parch up to have an extra arm down there. But, as far as that's concerned, that's it.
How many times, George, through the years have we watched games here and stuff happens quickly and the opposing manager just wasn't ready for it.
Well, it can happen quick, and I mean, you're looking at, they're starting to move around down there in their bullpen, but I mean, here's the thing about it. Axelrod's giving you what you wanted, 5+, and you'd love to get 6 maybe, but I mean, he's got 5+ innings. You got the lead 4-2. You mess around long enough, he's going to end up getting in trouble with things. He's got 95 pitches right now. It doesn't seem like that to me, but there should be that many pitches. Contreras, the right-hander, getting loose in their bullpen.
Rosario smoked a base hit in the second, also a ground ball to second. Long run for Bruce and no room to make a play.
Coors Field available year-round for special events in most areas of the ballpark. Can be reserved. Call 303 Rockies for more information.
A whole lot of Helton jerseys always in the ballpark. And today, on the day that Ton 17 was retired, even more than normal. Back in quickly is Ben Paulson. We were talking earlier, George, about in the first game, obviously we had Todd on. We were talking so much about the number retirement, first number in Rockies history other than 42, which is retired naturally in every ballpark, to honor Jackie Robinson. There are 3 other teams that have only 1 retired jersey. Arizona, number 20, our friend Luis Gonzalez. Tampa Bay with Wade Boggs. We discussed that a little bit, and Rosario kind of waves at that, 2-2. Even though he only played there his last 2 seasons, but a native of Tampa. Toronto, Robbie Alomar. He's the only jersey.
You know, I'm surprised Joe Carter
retired.
hadn't had his number retired up there yet.
You know what? You're right about that. World Series hero. Tremendous player up there. That's interesting. There are 2 teams that don't have any numbers retired, 3-2. The Marlins, they began in '98, so it's not a huge surprise. The Mariners had never retired a jersey. They got to retire Ichiro's, right? It's when he retires.
Ken Griffey Jr. maybe.
Ken Griffey Jr. Thanks.
Randy Johnson.
And maybe the greatest DH of all time, Edgar Martinez. He has a street named after him. No number retired. Ball 4. Ben Paulson was running. Stay on the bag now. So now 2 on for Brandon Barnes. And his last time up, he got to trot around the bases. Steven knows that.
Oh, yeah. Got that heater belt tie out over the plate, ran it right out of the hand of Axelrod and sent him to seats. Pretty sight.
Barnes' home run went 421 feet. I think they're still computing how far Kadyr's went.
458. I have no idea.
Went really far. 0-1 on Barnes. To third. He's got to get up the line. There's 1 on to first. Double play. So the 5-4-3 double play ends the inning. Rockies get another run on the home run by Michael Kadyer, 4-2. Cooney Lexus, where luxury has a new address, Greenwood Village, Colorado Springs. Brandon Barnes, a solo home run in the 5th inning. That went 421 feet. Brian Ludwig hit the 2nd longest home run of his career tonight. That one went 458 feet, a 2-run shot. Rockies were down 4-1. Then last inning, Michael Kadire knew it right away, especially when you hit it up by the concourse. To make it 4-2. That's where we stand. That's our Cooney Lexus look back. Jack Hanahan is going to pinch hit for Dylan Axelrod as we go to the 7th inning. Hanahan pinch hit in the 1st game. Brooks Brown continuing on. Hanahan struck out against Juan Nicasio pinch hitting in game 1. A 10-9 Rockies victory. The most thrilling victory of the season for Colorado. Fastball off the plate at 94. Billy Hamilton, Ramon Santiago to follow. So we're talking about jersey retired or numbers being retired by various teams. This is sliced to left. Dickerson got a good jump before he makes the catch, 1 out. The first 5 jerseys ever retired. Number 4, Lou Gehrig. Carl Hubble of the Giants in 44. Gehrig's jersey was retired in 1939. Babe Ruth's was retired 10 years later in 49. Mel Ott of the Giants in 48. Honus Wagner of the Pirates. His number 33 retired in 1952. This may be the only time that I think it's happened, George. I know one of your dad's idols, Stan Musial, Stan the Man. His jersey was retired. His
one
number
of my
retired.
idols too. You kidding?
Well, yeah, but he retired. Sure, he retired in 63. You were young, but his number 6 was retired on the day of his last Cardinals game, September the 29th, 1963.
You retire, so we'll just retire your number with it.
Yeah, forget the formality and everything. Nobody's going to wear this
again. Who would you say has the most retired jerseys? Is it the Yankees or is it San Francisco?
Maybe the Giants. Let me. The most retired number. The Yankees have 17. Then the Cardinals, your team growing up, 14. The Giants have 13. The Reds have 13 also. The Braves 10. The Dodgers 10. One and 2 on Billy Hamilton. One and 2 on Hamilton. How about Nolan Ryan? Check this out. He's had his number retired 3 times. His number 34 has been retired by Texas and by Houston. And when he was with the then California Angels, he wore number 30. They retired it. That just missed.
He deserved all of that.
That's pretty good when 3 different major league organizations take your number out of that jersey's no longer to be worn. Three and 2 on Hamilton. Billy almost got cut in half in that. By the time he regained his balance, he was almost standing next to Brian Price.
Join the Rockies Friday, August 22nd for the first annual Star Wars night at Coors Field. Go to Rockies.com/Star Wars for tickets and more details.
That's
That
a
was
neat,
pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a neat effect.
Uh-huh.
I worked on that early this morning, George, before coming down to the ballpark. What'd you think?
Not true.
3-2 on Hamilton, and that is a base hit to center field. That's his third hit of the ball game. He's got 5 hits in the doubleheader. 2 doubles, 2 runs scored in the first. So with the Reds up 4-2, 1 out. Hamilton with great speed at first base. Ramon Santiago coming up. That's what Steven thought of the new effect. A sip of Mark's Coke and get some energy here for the latter third of the ball game. All right, George, here's your trivia question. You ready? Has to do with retired numbers. Nolan Ryan had his number retired by 3 different teams: Texas, the Angels, and Houston. There are 2 players, they're both Hall of Famers, that have had their number retired by 2 teams.
Huh. Let me think about that a minute.
Hamilton takes off, pitch out, throw into center field. Hamilton pops up, cruises to third. Stolen base is 45th, and a throwing error on Rosario. That's how fast he is. That was with a pitch out.
45th stolen base for him. Now that's an error on Rosario. Rosario on the year had 5 errors, I believe, and I'll double check that. On the year, Rosario had where is this tree? Here it is. He had 5 errors. That'll be 6th.
Rockies pull the infield in with 1 out. (1-0) from Brooks Brown. 2-0. That's on the inside corner. Boone Logan. Slider off the plate, 3-1.
Worked out of traffic. Now we're going to have a tough time working out of his own traffic with 1 out. It's Brooks Brown able to work right out at third. And he got another left-handed hitter. You have Bruce in the on-deck circle.
On the inside corner. Caught a sliver of it, 3-2. This ball in the air to right center. That'll get the run home. Hamilton will score the 5th run for the Reds. Santiago with his 12th RBI. 5-2. Cincinnati. Not a lot there. Base hit and then speed.
Base hit, stolen base. You throw the ball wildly trying to get him out at second base, and it's just a fundamental at bat by Santiago. Hit the ball to the right side, get it in the air.
Fans follow at @RootsSports_RM on Twitter to receive alerts for the Rockies taco special when the Rockies score 7 or more runs. Those folks that already have this Would have gotten some alerts earlier when the Rockies won 10-9 against the Reds. Jay Bruce. That's a strike on Bruce. So you give up yet?
Yes.
Two guys, two Hall of Famers. Number retired by two different teams. Henry Aaron, Atlanta and Milwaukee, number 44. And a guy, George, who won an MVP in both leagues. Managed
Frank
Robinson. Baltimore and the Cincinnati Reds. Used to see Frank Robinson.
Did you
all
say,
the time.
hey, wait, I got to ask you a question. Who did you say? Two guys, only two guys had done that?
Well, three, if you include Ryan. Ryan's number retired by three teams, and then two have been retired by two different teams.
How about
Frank
Casey,
Robinson.
How about Casey Stengels, Met and Yankees? Carew with the Twins and Angels.
They're all right. Well, I'm looking at my research here. And said,
I'm asking.
Is Carew retired by two different teams? I don't know about that. I'll have to double check. 5-2. Cincinnati leads. Game one, they're down 5-2 as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning, and the Reds will have a new pitcher out there, Carlos Contreras. He pitched in Thursday's ball game, went 2 innings, and the only base runner he allowed was a walk. So Carlos Contreras on for the 12th time this year. Dylan Axelrod goes 6 innings, 2 runs, 7 hits, didn't walk anybody, struck out 7.
Yeah, Axelrod threw the ball very well. Now Contreras will try to come on. See if he can handle Charlie Culberson, and then I've noticed Charlie Blackmon has popped out of the dugout.
You know, I think our information may have been a little bit short that was sent to me in terms of guys that have had
There's been
jerseys retired. There's been a few others, evidently. Reggie Jackson, somebody just tweeted me, number 9 by the
Oakland.
A's, number 44 by the Yankees.
And then you got Raleigh Fingers by the A's and the Brewers.
Right.
It was sent to me. Carew with the Twins and Angels. Stengel, Mets, and Yankees. Aaron, we've done that one.
Now, Stengel was a manager, but that still counts.
Retired numbers are retired numbers.
Yeah. 0-1 on Culberson. The fastball, mid-90s from Contreras, 0-2. Of course, the Nationals don't have a retired number either.
Well, I just got a text from Mr. Ringlesby.
I'm getting the same ones you're getting.
From Mr. Ringlesby?
Yeah, these emails.
Washington unretired all numbers that were retired. Is that Minrick? And Narkin's originally retired numbers for the first team. President Carl Barger. But the current owners unretired. Tracy's probably texting without his bifocals on.
Cowboy would know. And after all, he saw the big train pitch, didn't he?
Saw a lot of people pitch.
This ball lined by Culberson, but it's right at Jay Bruce.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, those hard outs. He had a base hit in his previous at bat. Line drive right at him.
How about Pudge? Carlton Fisk. White Sox, Red Sox. This number retired, 72?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think it is. But it could be. So what we thought was a select group, there's a bunch, is basically what we're saying. Did your phone just blow up on that tweet thing you do?
See, I think Fisk may be retired there.
He's definitely retired as a player.
Yep, he's 72 White Sox and he's 27 with the Red Sox.
Well, he's a great player for both organizations.
Charlie Blackmon pinch hitting. (3-0) on Charlie. 5-2 Cincinnati, 7 hits for both teams. The Rockies have committed the only error. Ball 4. So a 4-pitch walk to Blackmon pinch hitting. And that'll bring up Josh Rutledge. George, I think you started this.
So what is this? What's hashtag? What's that thing?
Hashtag Rally Guy is trending for our man Steve now on Twitter.
He's losing some energy. We got to get him going.
No, he's all right. He's biting. You know what? Let's see how he acts here. If Rutledge gets on, let's see what happens. Good swing by Josh. You got to be able to sustain it. You got a doubleheader.
Ottavino and Massett have been throwing down in the Rockies bullpen as this inning started. Pinch hit for Brooks.
Man, we got to add some of these. That's a base hit for Rutledge the other way. Blackman's going to go first to third. Steven, get on up, buddy. Let's go.
Second hit of the night for Rudd. Charlie utilized that speed to get all the way to third base. Now you got Dickerson going against a hard thrower. Right off the end of the bat, Rutledge goes down and gets that fastball, shoots it right out of the reach of everybody. Squirts between first and second. Charlie, boy, what a great shot that is. You can see him turning up the mud as he headed over to third base, but right off the end of the bat for Rutledge.
Corey Dickerson has hit the ball hard all 3 times. Nothing to show for it yet. Base hit, Corey Dickerson, make it 5-3 as Blackman scores. And for Dickerson, it's now a 12-game hitting streak. Go-ahead run coming up in the person of Michael Kadire.
55 RBIs for Corey Dickerson with that base hit. Put runners at first and second, 1 out, took the fastball at 90. Just shot a rocket through the hole on the right side. All right, Rally guy, what do you got to do here? Come on now, what do you got to do? Yeah, see, hold it, hold it.
He can coach a little bit too. I always thought that was an underrated portion of Rally Guy's game, George. The fact that he also coaches. How many Rally guys? Most Rally guys just cheer and get the rally going. Rally Guy cheers, gets the rally going, but also can coach a little bit.
He's coaching good. I like it.
Multifaceted.
Now go down and just make sure, you know, like that third base coach touches different parts of his body. Touch the home run thing for Kadire.
Yeah.
Right here. Do that touch. Contreras was pulled up from Double-A out of Pensacola, where he'd been throwing the ball pretty well. He went up to the big leagues and been on the roster for a couple of years. Some happy guys going on here.
Kadire looks at the breaking ball in the dirt. It's 1-0. Triple in the first, struck out in the third, swinging, and a long home run in the sixth. First day back after missing 59 games. He had a hit in the first end of the doubleheader. How about Kadire? Who needs any stinking rest? Don't bring me back in slowly. I'm playing both ends.
Right. Well, I mean, I'm sure he said, hey, I've had enough time to rest for the last 90 days. I want to play. I don't even think about taking me out of the lineup. But he will sleep good tonight.
Yes, he will. Smoked to center field by Kadire. Around third, Rutledge, late stop sign. And the bases are loaded up for Nolan Arenado. Yeah, I think that little time in Montana with Grand Junction paying dividends. Kadire is scorching the baseball.
Yeah, I hope he gets up again. It's a double. Then he'll have the cycle. You know what I mean? You got the single, the home run, and the triple out of the way. And this one's right back up the middle. Contreras duck. This is coming back pretty quick. Base hit by Kadire. Hit so hard, though. Hamilton got to it in a hurry, and he can really throw. Down in this ball game, 5-2. So we're up to 5-3. No reason to take a chance here. Rally guy is ready to go. He's holding runners at third. We'll see what he does for Nolan. See if he can rally something up here.
Arenado, tough hop to third, and bad throw, and it's still in play. 1 run is scored, and Kadire is going to try to score. Safe. The Rockies have tied it up. You go, Rally Guy. Off the bat, it didn't look good. 3 seconds later, it's tied. Could be a double play ball. Santiago goes to the bag, George, and give a lot of credit to Dickerson. He broke up the double play where you rarely see it done at third base.
No question, and then you see Arenado take off, and I'm not sure why Peña's like triple clutched before he finally threw the ball to third base. Arenado's at third now with 2 outs. Ben Paulson who had a base hit. Man, this is fun. This is no fun. Yeah, that's the guy on the other side with the Cincinnati hat going, man, am I watching what I'm seeing here? Are you kidding me? If you dance, pal, you'd have a better chance. This guy dances over here with a Rockies shirt on.
Ben Paulson can give the Rockies the lead. 2 hops to second, and that'll end the inning. It was an eventful one. It began with the Rockies trailing 5-2. They scored 3 times. Rally guy loves it. Rockies were down 4-1 and 5-2. Charlie Blackmon, who pinch hit, stays in the ball game. Charlie's in center field. Adam Ottavino has come on here to pitch the 8th inning. Dickerson still in left. Kadire is still in right field. Actually, let me correct that. Barnes moved to right. Kadire moved to first, and Ben Paulson came out. That makes more sense because Paulson just hit. So the pitcher goes into Paulson's spot, the 5-hole. Blackmon again stays in. He'll be in the 9 spot. Ryan Ludwig at the plate. He gets a fastball at 96. Brown went 1 2/3. Brooks gave up a run on 1 hit. No walks and a strikeout. Here's the 0-1, another fastball on the outside corner at 97. Adam Ottavino, George, most of the year, you know, he's 94, occasionally 95 with that nasty slider. Last couple appearances, he's been sitting on 96, 97.
Yeah, you know what? Something happened in delivery where he's sitting on that front side a little bit longer and letting that arm come through. This is the arm you saw when he came over here. At this time of the year, you shouldn't see 97. Nice to see it.
0-2. And fastball at 97, foul tip. And a strikeout of Ryan Ludwig.
Like it.
Slider for a strike on Negron. Negron 1 for 3, singled and scored in the 6th inning. Fastball. And it's 0-2. When you watch Ottavino, you understand why the Cardinals took him in the 1st round out of Northeastern University.
Big arm, threw hard, had a good slider.
He was originally a starting pitcher. That's strike 3.
Come on now. Show me the fourth strike zone. Give me the fourth strike zone. I want to see it on the fourth strike zone.
That's a strike.
It caught the corner.
Yeah.
Bring him up.
They're going to go out there again. Slider. And there's the strikeout.
It's not just offense. He likes the strikeouts too. That guy can't stand it. Look, he's grumpy. He's grumpy.
Not even talking to his buddy anymore. His buddy's got that sly grin. You know what's going to happen, man? It's inevitable. Brian Pena, double in the 6th inning, 1 for 3. At the knees. Again at 97. Comebacker, and Ottavino will underhand it to first. That's about as dominant an inning as you'll see. A couple punch outs, 1, 2, 3. Adam Ottavino getting high fives. Rockies back to work at the back rack. 5-5. Five as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning.
I love it.
Dinger's going to learn a few moves. Willeen Rosario is going to lead it off. Contreras is going to continue on despite giving up 3 runs out of the bullpen last inning. Barnes and Culberson to follow.
He's having a blast. This guy's still mad.
He's about to get even more unhappy. Ball 1 on Willeen. Single Ground out walk this afternoon for Willeen. Pinch hit, sac fly in the 5-run 9th inning rally in game 1. Really quickly, our man Sam Polis filling in for Dougie up here has done some fast research. The additional names of guys that have had jerseys retired by more than one team. Henry Aaron, we mentioned. Sparky Anderson, Cincinnati and Detroit. Rod Carew, the Angels and the Twins.
So there's more than just a couple.
Oh, yeah. Raleigh Fingers, Milwaukee and Oakland. Carlton Fisk, we mentioned him. Both Sox, White Sox, Red Sox. Reggie, we mentioned him. Your old teammate George with the Yankees, of course, in Oakland as well. Greg Maddux, the Cubs and the Braves, the recent Hall of Fame inductee. Frank Robinson, we mentioned, Cincinnati and Baltimore. Jackie Robinson, originally by Brooklyn and then by all of Major League Baseball. Nolan Ryan 3 times. Got the barrel to it, but underneath it, high fly ball to Ludwig. And as Cowboy helped us out with Casey Stengel as manager of the Yankees and the Mets.
So where were you getting your research that you had too?
Oh, I had a friend who wrote us and had some great research and had some additional stuff, but then realized that the article that they had read was not completely accurate. Brandon Barnes with 1 out.
Starting guys off with sliders now. He's not going strictly fastball. Lean just missed hitting that one over the Toyota truck.
Well, Barnes almost hit the Toyota truck earlier in the ball game in the 5th inning. Long home run for Barnes, and that's in the air to shallow right. It's going to drop. Barnes, the go-ahead run with speed on at first for Charlie Culberson, who swung it well tonight.
So what you can do with it, you know, it's a fastball. It's elevated off the end of the bat again, out of the strike zone with pitch number 2 from Contreras, and ends up dumping out in front of Bruce in right field. You're going to have to start dancing here in a minute, buddy. It's bottom of the 8th inning. But Troy's on his way getting loose out there.
Culberson line to left, smoked a single and line to right. He has hit the ball hard tonight. Again, DJ LeMahieu hurt that ankle. He got rolled up on when he turned 2 the other night. Not available today. Morneau's got the stiff neck. Rockies shorthanded. Won the first game 10-9. Trying to come from behind again here in game 2. Today is reminiscent, George, when you look at that Cincinnati dugout, you look at Brian Price. We've seen so many visiting managers when the Rockies have got it going and no lead feel safe. They never feel comfortable, and that's how it was the first 6 weeks of this season. That's certainly how it's been in other years with the Rockies, and today has that feeling again. That's been a long time, but today has that feeling again where the Rockies just aren't going to be denied. You're never going to put up enough that they're not going to overcome it.
Well, that's a comfortable feeling too. I mean, you know, you can put the record aside, come out here and play a base hit.
Yep. There's another knock. Culberson 2 for 4, 2 on, 1 out.
And remember, because of the double switch, Charlie's hitting 9th. He'll get another swing at it here.
Who's the little fella behind him?
This guy here is just this one here is not happy, but this guy, I love it. He's having some fun now.
Now Brian Price is going to double switch. pulled the groin off the field, it looks like.
So Parra ought to be coming into the ball game. The left-hander down in their bullpen to face Chapman. Well, Chapman, after that debacle he had in the 9th inning in the first ball game.
So the former Brewer Manny Paris coming in. Schumacher's out there as well. We'll sort it out when we come back. 5-5. Schumacher comes in. He'll bat third in the 9th inning. And Manny Parra will make his 43rd appearance. The former starting pitcher with Milwaukee. Charlie Blackmon with 1 out. And the go-ahead run at second base in Barnes. Charlie Culberson is at first base. It'll be the second at bat for Blackmon. He pinch hit last inning, stayed in the ball game in center field. He walked and scored as the Rockies rallied for 3 in the 7th, trying to take the lead here in the 8th.
65 at bats against Parra, left-handed, just 16 strikeouts. Left-handers are hitting .246 against him. Well, what a season Charlie has had so far. 15 home runs. 59 RBIs. This year with runners in scoring position, Charlie's hit .307 with 2 home runs and 44 RBIs. A chance to win it here for the Rockies with a swing of the bat.
Here's the 1-1. Hammered, just foul. Boy, you got the barrel out on that slider.
Pena's like, man, I'm glad that was fouled. You guys are wearing me out over these line drives. Tried to bend that slider to the outside part of the plate. Looking at it from down the line, fouled by about 6 feet.
Good speed on 1-2. Popped up, foul ground. This one may be playable for Santiago. It is. 2 outs. And it'll bring up Rutledge.
Watching this ball, gauging where he is on the side by the dugout. Almost went too far, had to bend over backwards to make the catch. The right-handers, much like the left-handers, are hitting 256 against par with a couple of home runs.
Rutledge 2 hits in the game. Looking for a key third one. That ball has giddy up on it. 95.
Yeah, Parr, you're still hard, and then he went downhill a little bit, and now all of a sudden he's come back working out of the bullpen. What a nice addition for Cincinnati for a couple of years. Nice stop by Barnhart. Ball had a chance of getting away from him.
Big chopper. This is going to be a tough play, no play. So they're loaded up for Corey Dickerson.
Right off of home plate, a very high chopper. Parr doesn't get over to it, moves out of the way for Santiago, and Santiago can't do anything but take a bite out of the apple. Be aware of the fact that Parr out of the bullpen's thrown 2 wild pitches, so your lead has to be good. The Rockies with speed at third with Barnes.
Corey Dickerson with that hit in the 7th and a 12-game hitting streak. Trying to put the Rockies ahead in the bottom of the 8th. Runs, 13 hits for the Rockies, and a miscue. 5 runs, 7 hits, and an error on Cincinnati. Here's the 0-1. High fly ball, deep right field. Stay fair. It is a foul ball.
Young kid. This young man, Corey Dickerson, has a flair for the dramatic. It didn't foul by much. Thought it was going to hang long enough. It was plenty deep enough. Yeah, look at him. He's going foul, foul, foul. Then we got our guy jumping up and down.
Two strikes on Corey. The middle, base hit. One run scored. Here comes Culberson. 2 runs, safe at second. Rockies lead at 7-5. Corey Dickerson. The rally guy lives.
3 RBI night for Corey Dickerson. Another big hit against a tough lefty. The bat out of the reach of Parr, right back up the middle. Then Billy Hamilton tried to get to the ball. Good speed on the bases for the Rockies as 2 runs come around to score with Culberson and Barnes.
Now, the only thing that would top off the evening would be a double here for Kadire to complete the cycle. Michael, a triple in the first, a home run in the sixth, a single in the seventh. In his first day back after missing more than 2 months.
Boy, that would be something, huh? Miss 2 months, come back, hit the cycle first day. This league's easy. Tulsa, he was 2 for 11. Grand Junction, he owned the league.
One and one. Down the line. It may just be. Get the second. Michael Kadire will shut it down. He's got himself a cycle. He said, I want the ball. Oh, man, you got to love it. In what has been a most difficult season, today has been just right. That's something else. Couldn't happen to a better guy.
Manny Parr able to retire Charlie Blackmon since then. Base hit double-double. Now he's got Nolan Arenado with a run still sitting out at second base.
Seventh cycle in Colorado Rockies history. The first since Cargo did it in July of 2010.
Got a ball inside, shot the ball right by Santiago at third base. There's 2 runs coming around to score. Michael Kadire, I can tell you folks, halfway into second, he started clapping. He knew he had it.
Colorado. Cargo did it on July 31st of 2010.
How about his teammates?
Yeah,
they didn't love it.
You know how much respect he has in that clubhouse. Troy Tulowitzki did it in 09. Mike Lansing did it in 2000. Mike did it in the first 4 innings. Todd Helton, as we talked about earlier, and we showed it, did it in 1999. Nathy Perez in 98. Dante Bichette in 98 as well. And for Michael, it's his second career cycle. He did it with the Twins in 2009.
Yeah, but he runs better now. Has more speed now.
Yeah, he's got more speed. A 4-pitch walk to Arenado. And Drew Stubbs will come up and pinch hit. This ball ripped to left. That's a base hit. Kadire around third. He's coming home. And Drew Stubbs having a day also. 10-5 Colorado.
Yeah, nothing feels better than that right there, folks. I guarantee you. All he's happy about right now is I only got to go to first base. I don't have to run all the way out to right field.
You're right. Jeff Pinkos, man, listen, man, get one more out, get through this. We get on a plane, get to sleep a little bit, go to St. Louis. We'll get there about 5 in the morning.
Yeah, you're going to love it. We'll get there about 5. Yeah, that's about right. About 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. Take on the St. Louis Cardinals, who are ahead of them in the wild card.
Cardinals probably went to sleep already.
Absolutely, it's 11 o'clock. They won today. They beat San Diego 7-6. Pittsburgh lost 6-5 to Washington. Milwaukee beat the Dodgers 7-2. How about that? Dodgers beat Kershaw, Greinke. How about that? They got after
Milwaukee, yes.
Yeah, really good ball club.
Rosario, 10th man to hit in the inning. Arenado at second, Stubbs at first. 5 in the 8th for the Rockies. They got 5 in the 9th in game 1 to overcome a 9-5 deficit. Ground is short. Cozart to first. The Rockies behind a cycle from Michael Kadire. And a huge 2-out hit from Corey Dickerson behind in the count. Have a 10-5 lead over Cincinnati, looking for 3 more outs. Lines, find our fares online only at southwest.com. By Bluebell Ice Cream and by Jeep. Visit jeep.com to learn more. What a beautiful 8th inning it was. The 7th wasn't bad either. Rockies up 10-5. We go to center field. Mark Stout is trying to lure his special guest rally guy to set up short. Kick those other 2 clowns out of there.
Yeah, I don't know. These guys are pretty fired up. It's going to be a great Toyota postgame show. We start with you, Jason.
We're starting with welcome back, Cuddy. What an amazing day. A cycle. First day back.
I love it. And hashtag rally guy. Steve, someone bring him another Coke. He's been helping the Rocks out all day. Steve, I think he lives in a van down by the river near the airport.
By the airport. Right. That's what he told me.
Oh, we love this guy.
He actually said if you want to bring him a Sprite. Coke is his second
choice.
So get him a Sprite. He's as fired up as you are.
I'm bringing him season tickets. That's what I'm bringing in.
So we got a great Toyota postgame show ready to go, guys.
Hey, Spilly, I tell you, you're going to be waiting on those seats. Waiting on those season tickets, pal.
That's fine. I'll pick him up near the airport where he said he was.
All right, fellas, we'll look forward. That'll be a raucous Toyota postgame show. Charlie Blackmon's moved to right field. Drew Stubbs defensively is in center, so Brandon Barnes comes out. And LaTroy Hawkins is in the ball game. LaTroy making his 43rd appearance. You know, Barnes didn't come out. Let me correct that. Dickerson came out. Blackmon's in left field. I said that wrong. This to center field, and an easy play for Stubbs. So Charlie Blackmon's played all 3 outfield positions today.
Sure has.
Not just today. How about the last 2 innings?
Huge value. Charlie. He's been all over the place. He can do that for Charlie. Scored the run tonight. Marner's going to be pinch hit for. Heisey's going to hit for him.
Heisey got the start in game 1. He takes a strike. You know, guys appreciate other guys, George, and today's certainly been about the rallies. There's Rally Guy. We made him famous. He's now signing autographs. He'll be appearing at a dugout store near you. 2 outs.
He's getting ready to get season tickets for Spielberg's, too. I think that's awesome.
Yeah. Remind him of that. But LaTroy Hawkins, Todd held today. Todd had his press conference early this afternoon, way before he appeared on the field. And there's a ton of media in there naturally. And you notice in the back of the room, LaTroy Hawkins.
Sure. Good teammate. That guy's real mad right now, too. Great teammate with him. Went through an awful lot with him. He wanted to be there to honor Todd. I mean, he's very respectful of the game.
One and one on Skip Schumacher. Came in a double switch, first at bat in the second game. Ground ball at first. Cuddy's got it. Take it yourself, man. Finish out that day. Rockies come from behind and win it 10-5. They sweep the Reds. On the day the Rockies retired Todd Helton's number 17. What an awesome day for the Colorado Rockies. They take 3 of 4 from the Reds, and they do it with a dramatic 9th earlier this afternoon and a dramatic 8th late in the evening, led by Michael Kadyr's 2nd career cycle on his first day back after missing a couple of months. Our Jimmy John's freaky fast delivery of the game, the performance of number 3. That went for a triple. That was his first at bat. He struck out in the 3rd. Then he hit an absolute monster shot in the 6th. That was his 6th home run of the year. The 7th, roped one up the middle for a base hit. And then in the 8th inning, with 2 men in scoring position down the 3rd base line, a 2-run double. He owns an American League cycle and now a National League cycle. And in a moment, he's going to join us on headset from field level. In fact, there he is right now. Cuddy, congratulations.
Thank you.
In the same breath that I congratulate you